guys, welcome to another video. This video was inspired from a Facebook post that I saw, and just realizing how very much into signs and astrology that people are, to a point where it's a bit scary because it's treated like it's a religion, it's treated like it is the way of life, and it is frankly kind of unnerving. Of course, I'll share with you guys what the post is as I'm reading it. Listen, I think astrology is fun. I think it's a great little icebreaker, but I don't really go by it. I am a Sagittarius, if you must know, but there has been another sign that they just never put into the horoscopes or it's another constellation. It is the Orpheus. That's what the pronunciation said. Orpheus. And it's supposed to be the healer. So that's what my actual sign is. I think it's November 29th to December 18th. So I would fall under this Orpheus, which is a healer. Which I read up on the sign. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. So I know a lot of there's probably like other people that go by it who are like Sagittarius or like Scorpios are like, God, I'm not my sign. Or just like, who am I? What's my personality without my sign? Like people like that. It's just like, calm down. Also, your sign or somebody's sign doesn't dictate who they are. Like, we are all individuals and we all have unique experiences. So yes, of course, sometimes it's like, oh, it's actually kind of hits the nail on the head. Sometimes. And it's fun when it does, but I'm not going to be like, ew, you're a Gemini. Ew, you're a Scorpio. Ew, you're a Sag. Ugh, my ex was a Sag. And it's just like, okay, why do I care? Wait. Alright, so you know about the recent show that DaBaby had, and he was just out here talking about, hey, if you don't got AIDS and have 3 weeks left to live or something. It was a full-on sentence, and I was like, that's actually insane that he said that. Like, it just seemed really targeted towards the LGBTQ plus community, and it's just like, you know that everybody can get HIV and AIDS. Like, everybody. Doesn't matter if you're straight, gay, bi, everything. Anybody we're human beings. We can pass it, and it's not just through these kind of sexual acts. Like, it's like what he said was just like, it's too much. But that's not what the video is about. This is about somebody going off about the science. All right, so here's the thread. There are certain I'm not gonna put the person's. Here's the thread. I'm not gonna put the person's name because it's just in case they are joking, but also it's just like, it's not necessary. So there are certain energies that are too potent to be canceled. Certain energies have too much ancestral backing. DaBaby is a Capricorn Sun, Cancer Moon. DaBaby lost his father at the peak of his career. Many Caps and Aquarius dominants experience this form of initiation. So let's just say Saturn Doms thrive in turmoil. Look at Ray J and R. Kelly, and even LeBron and Mary J. Blige. Caps Moon like Tekashi and Azealia Banks, or 50 Cent, Sun conjuring Saturn in Cancer. Dave Chappelle, Moon conjuring Saturn, and they can't help but keep it real. If there's a room full of Saturn dominants, I can bet their existence came from or during a certain life challenge for one or both parents. The only 2 signs I don't mind being infamous. They don't mind being the bad guy because there's no story without one. The realists of the zodiac, they usually have experienced a early maturity that warrants them the courage to stand alone. Mars exalted in Capricorn, and this courage comes from the childhood obstacles that would defeat some of us. Many of us are old souls. So their level of understanding is usually embedded in wisdom that surpasses their age. So they are usually here to stay. DaBaby is a Cancer moon, so he's here to help men come full circle. Fatherhood, Saturn, and the emotional consciousness, moon. Believe it or not, but many men will support him. Most Saturn dominant men have the ability naturally, but to add the Cancer moon now solidified it. He spoke a lot of men still processing this feminine push. You can see his Cancer moon is giving him daughters. I believe he will shift the media. His Mercury and Jupiter are in mutable signs. He will change our minds and find grounding through his interviews. He will give us a better understanding. Jupiter just retrograded back on his Saturn. He's learning a public lesson. Something just fell because of the tomfoolery that was just said. It sounds like she's on his side for what he said and that he's learning a public lesson, but also it's just like you can't excuse that. You can't excuse that. You can't excuse somebody just being like, hey, basically forget the queer community. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Just like, sis, okay, and this is when the astrology gets a little too crazy, because she went into like the moons and the Saturns and the planets, and it's just like people already thought they was into it. They're like, oh, constellations, like the stars and shit. But now she's talking about like the moon when it was born, and like Capricorns, and these people are having tragedy happen. It's like, how can you even sum that up? Like, tragedy, life, there's always going to be tragedy. There's just always, like, one thing or another. There's going to be something that you're like, oh my god, this is so bad, I don't know if I can get through this. Like, and it'll keep happening sometimes, but that's just the way life is. So you can't say, oh, because Capricorns usually have this spiritual awakening because a parent usually dies for somebody who is a Capricorn, and this is how they have the origin story. Like, no, this is crazy. See, I wrote on here, you're not your horoscope. You're not. Okay? This guy, he needs to see the light that that the queer community has always been here since the dawn of time, and just mind your business. Why don't people mind their business? Just mind your business. Like, he probably undercover. Because that's the only reason. It's like you're either upset about it because you don't understand it, and aren't really actively trying to learn about it, or you're just like, or you just queer yourself and you just don't have the freedom to express it. Especially in the rap industry, like, a lot of these men are not going to be out openly gay. All that to say is, some people just need to chill out with these signs and these planets. Especially once it gets to the planets, I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I really don't know. But I just like to keep it as a fun little icebreaker sometimes. If anybody takes an icebreaker about horoscopes very serious and just like, oh, you're not going to talk to me now? Or like, oh, I don't follow that shit. It's like, I'm just asking. I just like to ask because I just think it's just a fun little icebreaker. But anybody who's like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you because you're a Leo, or my ex was a Leo and they did this, and it's just like, your ex is a person. It's like, it doesn't matter about the signs. Like, okay. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I was a Sag, but now I'm a Orpheus. And it literally was like in my year, like that constellation in my year. But anyways, yes, I am Orpheus. And thank you for watching. Please, you know what? Comment your sign in like comment your sign in the description box below, so we know what community is watching more. I want to know which horoscope sign is watching my videos more. Okay, like, I'll be like, oh, I have more Geminis, like Geminis coming through, like Sagittarius come through. come through. Do not let me down on this video. Thank you guys for watching. So I was working on the second part of the self-care series, which is like detoxing your life, as I am still trying to do so, and setting boundaries and all that. And I deleted the video. I deleted it. I thought that I had it on my computer, and I deleted it. But now that I think about it, I was like, I don't even know exactly what I said on there. I'm sure it was pretty good or pretty decent, but it's fine. It's fine. So I was just like, that just is a sign that I just need to redo it and, get very clear on get very clear on my intention. And I think I really got it this time. So I'll be excited to re-record it actually and share it with you guys as well.